We are going to look at the George Ryder Stakes now, the 1500 metre Group 1 weight for age. Vate was the first 3-year-old to win since Piero in 2013. The mare's record, only 2 mares have won since 1986. That included Winx as a 4-timer and Forbidden Love in 2022. Let's go to you, Clance. What are you doing with the speed here?
Yeah, there's not a stack of natural pace again here. We seem to be saying that for a few races. I think Royal Patronage was fantastic in the Canterbury Stakes first up, and there's no doubt he'll push forward again and find the lead. I think unless Gringotts, which I do think Gringotts will push over and either sit behind Royal Patronage or sit outside, they're really the only two speed influences in the race. So if you want a ticket on Fangirl or Chaelwolf or Steffi Magnetica, Tom Kitten to a lesser degree, you're going to need some sort of luck at some point because the speed just isn't there. So I can understand, having seen that, why Royal Patronage has come up so short as a $5 second elect when realistically probably doesn't have the class of the Fangirls and Chaelwolves of the world. But the map just sets up so well. Chaelwolf, as we spoke about last week with Joe Pride and his fighting words, that Canterbury Stakes was just a prep run. I wouldn't be looking into that too much. Steffi Magnetica was caught 3-4 wide the entire trip, so happy to forgive her off that as well. I do think Royal Patronage is a very, very good chance of winning this race, but $5 is just too short. The two that I'd play at this point in time on a Thursday as we're looking at the odds are Gringotts sitting closer, and then Steffi Magnetica presents a decent betting opportunity. They're both in double figures at the moment, but Royal Patronage and Fangirl are the two at the top of the market. But yeah, it's just really hard to have a bet at this point.
I'm interested to ask you, Trent. Obviously, Tom Kitten returns after a Group 1, an All-Star Mile win. Obviously, 1,600 metres, comes back to 1,500 metres, but the Australian Cup was also an option there. How do you feel about, the placement of Tom Kitten?
Yeah, this is certainly going to be a harder race. This is a great race. It's one of the early races of the autumn. Yeah, I don't mind whether he wears 16 or 1,500 to 2,000. I think he's pretty versatile. I do think in that All-Star Mile, he got the right run. Mr. Brightside was just holding, trying to keep another will in the pocket, and Tom Kitten just behind him was just able to just crawl up behind him and let go with a turn of foot. Whether that's able to occur here from barrier 11 and where he gets to is a little bit tricky. And it's like Clint said, the map is very interesting, but I'll counter that to some degree by thinking that Fangirl is not necessarily unsuited when they do go slow. She's got the best turn of foot in the race by some margin, I think. Yeah. And I think she's come back as well as ever. So she's, she beat Vesistina first up. That horse turned the table second up, but that's clearly no knock on any kind of form worldwide. She hasn't won at Rosehill before, but I think her ratings have been right up there. She ran second to I Wish I Win in a Golden Eagle, and she ran second to Animo in this race a couple of years ago as well. So not knocking that at all. She gets J-Mac back on as well for the first time this preparation, which is just a huge tick. Drawn wide, I think if the track plays like it did last week as well, where they are getting out wider, I think she can settle in front of a few of these. You've got the likes of Militarized drawn wider than her, and some stayers as well, resuming like Kovalika. I think they're going to be further back than she can be. So if she's settling, closer to midfield or even just off, I think she's got the turn of foot to get over the top of these on the dry track where she's just so electric.
Yeah, if you listen to J-Mac talk through the week as well, he said this is the best presented horse in the whole country this weekend. He's very, very bullish about her. And when he says those sort of things, you got to take notice.
He could have a couple of Group 1s up his sleeve going into this race as well, which would be pretty incredible. Looking forward to that race. I agree with your sentiments, Trent. It's going to be an absolutely cracking race.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.